Cool, so the sledgehammer equation, this is the tool we need to crack the mongrel solving quadratic equations that we don't know how to crack, aka the quadratic formula. If ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, that's how we have to set up our quadratic in order to use this equation. Then we can solve it. X is always going to be negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Which seems like a lot of gobbledygook. It is a sledgehammer equation, so it's complicated, but it lets us solve almost any quadratic. This bit inside the square root here is what they call the discriminant, and the symbol they're using for that on your formula sheet is the delta, the Greek letter delta, b squared minus 4ac. That bit there's interesting because it tells us what sort of solution we're expecting. If this comes out as positive, it means we're getting two real solutions. If it comes out as 0, then we're getting one real solution. And if it's negative, it's sitting inside a square root, and coping with the square root of a negative number is a level 3 skill. And so that's the set of quadratic equations that we can't quite solve yet, is the ones that have a negative under there, but that's going to give us a complex solution. And the word we use for numbers that involve square roots of negative numbers is complex numbers, so that would give us complex solutions. So we're only going to look at ones where the discriminant is positive, e.g. 2 solutions, or it is 0, e.g. 1 solution. We're going to have a look at the 3 problems that we just did at the end of the do now. The first one is x squared plus 2x plus 1. And we have to get it into this kind of A, B and C type of setup. So what's A, what's B and what's C for this equation? What's A? 1. How much is B? 2. How much is C? 1. So we've got A, B and C, and we're just going to bang them into the quadratic formula. So x is minus negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 over 2 times 1. Now we're going to think about, first of all, this inside bit of the square root to understand what solutions we're expecting to have for this. So the discriminant is equal to 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1. The discriminant is 0. What does that tell us about the solutions to this quadratic? So one real solution. Real number as in not a complex number. One real solution. Okay, what is that solution? What's it going to be? X is negative 1, right? We know that x is negative 1. So what we're doing now is proving that this equation, we're hoping this equation is going to give us negative 1. If it doesn't, we're kaput, right? So x is negative 2 plus or minus square root of 0 over 2. X is negative 2 over 2. X is negative 1. So we're really happy we get the same solution using the quadratic formula, long complicated method, as we did doing the nice simple just factorise it method. You happy so far? X squared plus 5x plus 4 equals 0. And when we did it as a do now, we factorised it to x plus 4, x plus 1 is 0, and so the solutions are going to be negative 4 and negative 1, right? We're expecting 2 solutions. Let's bang it into the quadratic formula and see what happens. Let's evaluate the discriminant to check. We're expecting this to tell us that we're going to get 2 answers. Is 9 So what does that tell us? Two solutions, right? It's positive. So two solutions. So let's do the equation then. X is, this is slightly more complicated than the last one, negative 5 plus or minus 3 over 2. X is negative 5 plus 3. Negative 2. So negative 2 over 2 or negative 5 minus 3. Negative 8. Negative 8 over 2. So x is 2 over 2. Negative 1. Or negative 8 over 2. Or boom. Got the same answer. This little puppy dog's working well. Let's now move on to the one that was causing so much anguish in the practice, right? Let's do x squared plus 5x plus 5 equals 0. We couldn't do it, right? There's a manual. So what do we know? A is B is C. How much is A?
1.
B is 5. C is 5. Discriminant is B squared minus 4AC. Discriminant is 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. 25 minus 20. Discriminant is 5. What does that mean?
Two solutions.
So two solutions. Let's do it then. We've got x is negative 5 plus or minus square root 5 over 2 times 1. X is negative 5 plus root 5 over 2 or negative 5 minus root 5 over 2. X is, this is where we grab out our calculator. Have you done that one for us?
Yeah.
Great. What did you get for the first one?
Negative 1.38 and negative 3.62.
3.62. Great. That would have taken quite a bit of guessing and checking before we narrowed it down to 1.38 and 3.62. Do you see the beauty of this thing? This thing can crack anything. This is the sledgehammer.